Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to our English class today. And for our first lesson, we'll be taking the aspect of orals. And our first lesson is going to be on emphatic stress. A particular word, in order to distinguish it from other words in a sentence, any word that is being emphasized or that carries the emphatic stress in a sentence is usually capitalized. That is one way to identify the word that carries the emphatic stress in a sentence. They are usually what? Capitalized. And in responding to emphatic stress questions in their examination, in your examination, they always come with the option with interrogative sentences. They are sentences that ask what? Question. So the options always come with what? Interrogative sentences. For example, let's look at the word. In each of the question 1 to 6, the word in capital letters has the emphatic. It is simply asking you to, from the options A to D, which one relates more to the emphasis. Now we have A. Was Emeka helped to do his homework? Remember, the emphasis is on who? Emeka. So we're looking for the interrogative sentence that relates more to the emphasis here. And how do we identify our answer? Number 1, I'm going to choose the word, the sentence that contradicts the sentence. The option that contradicts what? The sentence, or any of the options that does not bear the emphatic stress, that does not bear Emeka. That would be our answer. So this is how to identify answers on emphatic stress in the examination. Whenever you're given a question on emphatic stress, just look at the options. Anyone that does not bear the emphatic word, the word being emphasized, is your answer. Or any word, any of the options that contradicts the sentence given to you is the answer. So from option A, you can see that was Emeka helped to do his homework? The emphasis is not on Emeka. B, did Emeka do his homework? That's not the answer. Looking at this option D, you can see that it's answering the question, Emeka, that bears the emphatic stress. It's telling you that it was Emeka that did what? That finished his homework yesterday. So like I said, any of the options that does not bear the emphatic word is your answer. Or anyone that contradicts the sentence is your answer. So D is our answer. Let's go to the next slide. Number 2, we have Taiwo sailed to London, and the emphatic stress is on London. Now, option A said, did Taiwo fly to London? Remember that the one that bears the importance here is what? Sail. We want to look at the interrogative sentence that best fits the emphatic sentence given to us. Did Taiwo fly to London? B, did Taiwo sail to Brazil? C, did Taiwo sail to London? D, where did Taiwo sail to? Now, from the first example, you can see that the answer here is what? Fly. A is the answer because fly contradicts sail. And if you look at the other options, you can see they have the word sail, sail, sail in them. So any of the option that does not bear this sail is our answer. Or anyone that contradicts the emphasized word is the answer. Had it been the stress is on London, that means Brazil will be the answer. Now, the next question here is, my bag is made of leather. Okay, we have our answer here as A. My bag is made of leather. Now, leather here bears the emphasis. No, that's not the answer. B, is my bag made of polythene? C, is Abel's bag made of leather? D, Is my bag made of leather? Our answer is what? Is my bag made of polythene? The answer will now be my bag is made of leather. This answers the question. Next, we have number 4. Uche loves Toyota cars. These questions are from jam past questions, so you can see that it comes out all the time. You can never not see it in your exam. It's always there. Number 4, Uche loves Toyota cars. A, we have who loves Toyota cars. The emphasis is not on Uche. If not, this would have been the answer. Rather, the emphasis is on what? Loves. So A is not the answer because there's still love appearing there. B, what brand of car does Uche love? You can see love there too. So it's not the answer. C, does Uche hate Toyota cars? D, does Uche love bicycles? So the answer is hate because hate contradicts the emphasized word love. And it being the emphasized word here is please. So A, we have, did the police placate the suspects? That's not the answer. Who arrested the suspect? Because we don't have the police here and it's answering the question, who arrested the suspect? The answer would be the police arrested the suspect. So B is our answer. Next, we have Maiduguri is the capital of Borno State. Maiduguri is the capital of Borno State. Now, option A is Maiduguri the capital of Plateau State? That's the answer. Which state is Maiduguri the capital of? That's not the answer. Why? Because you still have capital still appearing in all the sentences. C, is Maiduguri a town in Borno State? D, what is the capital of Borno State? Therefore, the right option is C. Why? Because town contradicts capital, which is the emphasized word in the sentence. Next, we have the traditional chief narrated the story to the children. The emphasized word there is narrated. Therefore, we have option A. The children heard the story from the traditional chief. Who narrated the story to the children? The children could not listen to the story by the traditional chief. Did the chief hide the story from the children? Hide contradicts narrated because heard, for you to hear something, it means that you've been told. Because narrated means what? Told. Who narrated? Okay, you can see narrated again. Then the children could not listen to the story by the traditional chief means that the chief is narrating the story. Therefore, the only option that contradicts narrated here is hide. Hide means that it has not been revealed to the children. So the right option, number 7, is D. Number 8, we have the accountant paid the workers July salary in September. This one is talking about what? Time. But here the emphasized word is on who? Accountants, not when the workers were paid. B, did the cashier pay the workers salary in September? C, workers received their salary in September. The September salary was paid in July. The option that best contradicts this 8th sentence is what? B, because it's not bringing another person entirely. The cashier. A, did the rat devour the cat? That's not the answer. B, what devoured the rat? That is not the answer. C, did the cat pet the rat? You can see that pet contradicts devour. It's just the opposite. So C is our answer. D, is this the rat the cat devoured? So our answer is still what? C. Next we have number 10. My mother brought a bicycle yesterday, and the emphasized word is bicycle. A, bicycle yesterday. D, when did my mother buy a bicycle? Now, The answer is A. Why? Because it answers the question, what did your mother buy yesterday? The answer would not be was, my mother bought a bicycle yesterday. Number 11, we have Amina went to Abuja by air. The emphasized word, the emphasis is on Amina. So in A, we have, is Amina going to Abuja by air? B, who went to Abuja by air? C, did Amina go to Abuja by road? D, did Amina go to Jos by road? The right option is B. Why? Because it's asking the question, who went to Abuja by air? And the emphasized word is on who. Amina telling you who went to Abuja by air. Number 12, we have Musa is staying in Enugu. And the emphasized word is on staying. A, is Musa passing through Enugu? B, is Musa staying on the outskirts of Enugu? C, is Musa staying in Enugu? D, was Musa staying in Enugu? If you look at the sentences, all of them are barely staying, except option A, which means is our answer because it answers the questions staying, which has the emphasized word. Is Musa passing through Enugu? No, Musa is staying in Enugu. The next slide, we have Adamu is leaving a car behind. The emphasized word is on car. Thereby we have, what is Adamu leaving behind? Is Adamu driving the car in front? Who is leaving a car behind? Where is Adamu leaving a car? A bears the right answer because it's telling us what Adamu left behind, which that contradicts Tukov. B, what did Lambusa do? C, did Lambusa take off a wig? D, did Lambusa take off the ring? The emphasis is on took off. Therefore, the answer will be, what did Lambusa do? Option B. Option B. 15, we have, the bed is in. The options are A, is the bed in the room, in the parlor? B, was the bed in the parlor? C, what is in the parlor? D, where is the bed? Therefore, where is the bed answers the question. The bed is in the room. Therefore, D is the right answer. So that is all for emphatic stress. It's just the laying of importance in a particular word in a sentence for you to be able to clarify what the sentence is talking about. So, like I said before, in order to derive the right answer, first of all, you're going to look out for the emphasized word. Once you're able to identify the emphasized word, then in your options, look out for the sentence that does not have the emphasized word. That is the right answer. Or the sentence that contradicts, that means the opposite of the sentence given to you, is your right answer. Next, we are going to look at syllabic stress. Syllabic stress. Before we talk about syllabic stress, first of all, you have to understand what a syllable is. A syllable is a unit of a sentence. That is, that unit you can produce in a particular time. A segment of a word. A segment of a word. A syllable is a unit of pronunciation that has one vowel sound. For you to be able to break words into pieces, into tiny bits, you do that by using what? Your vowel sound. For example, the word education. Education. It has how many syllables? 4 syllables. Why? In the word education, you can see you have about 5 vowels and about also 4 consonant sounds. They're different from what your vowel and your consonant sounds. is not the sounds, rather is the sound, is the segmentation of those sounds. Education, it gives you 4 syllables. Syllables vary from monosyllabic, that is one. Syllables that bears one sound segment. For example, I, I. These are words that has only one syllable. They are called monosyllabic. While it can also vary from monosyllabic to poly. You can have one syllable and have 2 syllables. That is disyllabic words. For example, happy. Ha, that's one sound segment. P, another sound segment, giving you disyllabic sound. Then to polysyllabic, that is when it's now more than 2. Any word that has more than 2 syllabic sound segments is called polysyllabic words. For example, education has more than 2 syllabic sounds. Therefore, it's called what? Polysyllabic words. Now, stress in a syllable is being marked up by the symbol, this slash symbol, or capitalization. For you to identify the stressed syllable in a word, is it that it's being marked with what? A capitalized form, or with this symbol, a slash symbol like this. Now, syllabic stress has rules. They have rules for identification. The first rule for syllabic stress is to stress the first syllable of most 2 syllable nouns. Nouns that have 2 syllables, you stress the first part of that syllable. For example, present, a present, that is a gift, right? A present, you can see that it is a noun, it's the name of something you give to somebody, and it has 2 syllables. Present. Now, any noun, any 2 syllable nouns must be stressed at the first word syllable. This is the first syllable. Present. The pre will carry the capitalized form, showing that it is what? Stressed. Then next one, knowledge. No is the first syllable. Ledge is the second syllable. Because it is a noun and because it is a dice, most 2 syllable adjective, you must stress the first syllable of most 2 syllable adjective. Any adjective that is disyllabic, that has 2 syllables, must be stressed at the first syllable. For example, slender. Slim is the first syllable, therefore you stress it. The next one, the first syllable of every 2 syllabic noun adjective. While you stress the last syllable of every 2 syllable verbs and prepositions. For example, present. I present this present to you. That is to tell you that a word can be a noun and also a verb. That is the work of this intonation or this syllable, this syllabic stress, to tell you if it is a noun or a verb. For example, here you have present, that is a gift, and here you have present of every 2 syllabic verbs. This is a verb and this is the last syllable that bears the stress. While the next word here is decide. Side is the last syllable, therefore you stress it. The next rule is most 2 syllabic preposition must be stressed at the last syllable. Prepositions, for example, aside. Sorry, the stress should be on this last sound segment. Aside. The next one, between. 3, stress the second to the last syllable of words that end on IC. Any word that ends on IC, any word that ends with IC must be stressed from second to last. That means you count from the back. Anyone that is the second to the last sound segment should be stressed. For example, here we have ecstatics. Then you can see that this IC is the last sound segment. White star here is the second to last, therefore it bears the stress. Geographic graph here bears the stress. Also, you stress the second to last syllable of words from the second to last syllable. For example, here we have extension. Now this SION, which is shown, is the last syllable. The second to it is 10, therefore it bears the stress. We also have contribution. BU is the second to last, and it also bears the stress. Next we have please. Next we have stress the third from last syllable of words that end in CY. Stress the third. The last one was second to the last, while this one will be third from the last. That means any word given to you that ends with CY, PHY, GY, count the third from the back and stress that third. For example, here we have democracy. You can see that this word ends with CY. Then count from the last to the third. Democracy. We have 4 sound segments, 4 syllables. This is C, cray, and mo. Therefore, mo bears the stress because it is the third from the last, and because it ends with the word with the letter CY. Also, uncertainty. If you count from the third, T, 10, and 7. Therefore, CER bears the stress because it is a syllable that dates from the third from the last. Next, we have geography. Here we have also 4 sound segments. Geography. And this happens to be the third one, therefore we stress it. The next rule is words that end in AL, you stress from the third from last of words that ends with what? AL. For example, here we have the word exceptional. And this word ends with what? AL. Then we count from the back to the third. L, shun, and said. Therefore, this bears the stress. The same thing with critical. Do not mind that the stress is not coming at the initial position. Just count from the back, even if it ends at the initial position. Stress that word. For example, you can see that it ends with AL. Count from the back to the third. Al, tick, and cream. Therefore, cream is just the amalgamation of 2 different words to get a compound word. When you combine 2 simple words, you get a compound word. For example, the word school board. You have the word there, school, and you have board. When you put them together, it gives you a compound word. So any compound word that happens to be a noun must be stressed at the first syllable. For example, green house. Green is the first syllable and it is a noun. It is modifying a noun, house. Therefore, you stress it. Black bird. Black is a noun. Bird is a noun. Bird is a noun. And it is a compound word. Therefore, we stress the first syllable. Now, for compound adjectives, the stress is on the second part. Compound adjectives. Bad temper is describing somebody. An adjective is a word that describes a person, a place, a thing, or an animal. Any word that describes a noun is an adjective. Bad-tempered is telling you that someone is what? Bad-tempered, and happens to be a compound adjective. It says that we should stress the second part, and the second part here is what? Tem. Bad-tempered. So tem carries the stress. Or old-fashioned. Old-fashioned. Fash carries the stress because this is the vowel that marks the syllable here. Old. The O here is marking the first syllable. Far, then short. So the second part carries the stress if it happens to be a compound adjective. Next is for compound verbs. The stress is on the second part. For compound verbs, that's verb that has when two words come together to form a compound and it happens to be a verb, an action. For example, understand, understand me. Can you understand me? Understand here is a verb, is an action. Therefore, the stress should come at the last part. Please take note of all these rules. The stress should come at the last part. The next one, overflow. Flow here is the second part of these compound verbs. Therefore, it carries the stress. The last rule is to stress the first syllable of words that have three syllables and end in er or ly. Any word that has three syllables and ends with er or ly should be stressed at the first syllable. For example, here we have orderly. It is a three-syllabic word, orderly, and it ends with ly. Therefore, the rule says stress the first syllable, and the first syllable here is o, or, orderly. The next one, quietly. This QU, which happens to be the first syllable, carry the stress. Then the last one, manager. Manager ends with ER. Therefore, it carries the stress at the first syllable, manager. We are producing the word. A syllabic stress just talks about you identifying that syllable that bears the higher tone in producing them. For example, manager. I want to see the manager. You can see that the first syllable here bears the higher tone in producing it. It bears a louder tone and it bears this clarifying form, manager. It is the one that comes louder and it is the one that shows the importance in that word, manager. And the next step is also for you to follow these rules. And you have to listen to yourself when producing the word, and also you have to follow these rules in order to know the syllable that is being stressed in a word. Now let's go back to the other slide to see the examples of this syllabic stress in questions that comes into your JAMB examination. Okay, now it says in each of the questions 1 to 7, choose the most appropriate stress pattern from the options. The most appropriate stress pattern from the option. The stress levels are written in capital letters. Remember, I told you that stress is being marked with what? Capital letters or with a slant symbol like this. Now, the word here is political. Political is the word given to you. Now you have options A to D to choose the most appropriate stress pattern from the options. Now remember we said that any word that ends with AL should be what? Stress from third, you count from the last, you count to your third syllable. Now let's look at political. The stress here is coming to that is not I there is being stressed. And if you count from the back to the not the right answer. C, the stress is coming at pole, while in option D, the stress is coming at cow. Therefore, Lee, which bears the stress and which is the third from the last to this option is the right answer. Next, we have captivity. Captivity is a word given to us, and we are asked to identify the one that has the most appropriate stress pattern from the options. Now, A, we have captivity, and VI here is bearing the emphasis, bearing the stress syllable. From the last syllable, you count to the third. So here we have C as our best option. Number 3, we have termination. And we said that any word that ends with shun or shun should be stressed at where? Second to the last. And the second to the last option will be what? Termination to the last syllable. So for termination, the answer will be on nay. On nay, which happens to be what? Option C, termination, second to the last syllable. Nay is the second to the last, that means it is the right answer. Also, for number D, we have dedication. Therefore, the answer will be on K, option C, cation, because it is the second to the last syllable. Number 5, we have international. Any word that ends with AL should carry its stress from the last syllable to the third. You count from the last to the third. And the last to the third here is which one? Option A, international. We have how many syllables here? International. We have 5 syllables, and if you count from the last, the third one is na. That means it is our answer. Next, we have conspiracy, and conspiracy is ending with the letters CY, which means our answer will be coming from the third to the last also. For example, here we have conspiracy, and this ray is carrying the stress, CY here is carrying the stress, PI here is carrying the stress, and it is the third from the last. That means it is our answer. The last one on this part is programmatic, and TIC is ending with IC. And we said that any word that ends with IC should carry its stress from the second to the last syllable. And second to the last here is C, programmatic. Now, this next instruction says, in each of the questions 8 to 10, choose the option that has stress on the first syllable. You are being given different options, and you are asked to choose the one that bears the stress at the first syllable. Remember, we said that the first. Now let's look at these words. A, we have madam, and madam is a noun, right? We have a team. A team is a disyllabic word. It's a word that has 2 syllables, a and team, but it is not a noun. It is an adjective that tells you the age of somebody. It modifies or qualifies a noun, so it's not a noun. We have invent. Invent is a verb. Therefore, it cannot carry the stress on the first syllable. We are looking at words that only carries stress at the first syllables. Invent is a verb, therefore it cannot carry the stress on the first syllable. Likewise, option D, command. I command you. Command is a verb and cannot carry the stress at the first syllable. Therefore, the only word that can bear the syllable, the stress at the first syllable is madam because it is a noun. Madam, madam. The first syllable, which is ma, if you listen to it, it bears a higher tone marker, a higher voice pitch. Ma, madam, madam. Now, number 9, we have 19. Madam, estate. It is not a polysyllabic, it is not a disyllabic, that means it does not have two syllables, rather it has three syllables. Es, a, stay, a, stay, three syllables. While here we have mother. Mother is what? Two syllables and it is a noun. Therefore, mother is our answer. 19 is an adjective as well. D is a verb. Therefore, it cannot carry its stress as the first syllable, which is our instruction. Number 10, we have commute. Commute is a verb. Import. Import is here you are giving the clue that it is a verb because import can also mean a noun. Import. Import is a noun. But here you are giving a clue that it is a verb, therefore it cannot carry the stress of the first syllable. Intend is a verb also. Export is a noun and it is a disyllabic word, therefore it carries our stress. So that is all for our syllabic stress. Once you understand these words and once you pay attention in pronouncing these words, you'll be able to identify the one that carries the high voice pitch, which bears the stress, or you can learn all those rules given to you to understand it more. Next and our final topic for today is on sound system. On sound system, we want to understand all about our sounds because one or two questions usually comes out of it during the examination. Now, and this for the first sound is divided into 24 consonants and 20 vowels. The 24 consonants and 20 vowels gives you 44 sounds. And these 20 vowels are further divided into 12 monotones and 8 diphthongs. Monotone, whenever you hear anything mono, it means one, while di means two. So monotones means vowels that have one sound segment, one sound pronunciation. For example, a is a monotone, it's just a, it ends there. While diphthongs are vowels that have two sound segments. They're not separate sounds, but it is a glide from one vowel to another. We call them diphthongs. For example, a is a diphthong because it glides from a to e to give you one vowel, a. Therefore, we call them diphthongs. Now, some R sound. Example: cat, man is a short sound. Whenever you see a double dot beside a sound, it shows you that that sound is a long sound, is a long vowel sound. Now here we have a and it's short and sharp. For example, cat, man. And we have the next one, is a longer part of this a. You just have to draw it longer in pronouncing them. For example, market, part. The next, you have ink. For example, we have here beat, ink. And we have e, for example, beads, keep. E and e. Here we have beat, take a beat, and here we have beads, ink and keep. The next one we have the sound girl, sound, girl. The next we have what we call the back R sound. The back R sound. For example, blood, blood. See, we have all sound, and we see it in the word pot, pot. And we have the longer all sound, which is all, and we see it in the word pot, airport. This is pot for cooking and pot, where playing balls. Next, we have O, our short O sound, for example, book. And we have the longer O sound, oo, for example, blue or few, oo sound. Next, we have the E, for example, egg. And the last one is the A sound, for example, again, above. Now, these are the 12 monotones we have in English language. Next, we move to the diphthongs. The first diphthong is A. The diphthong A. Example, the word day. This AY in this word is making the sound A. Next, we have I. And IE here is making the sound I. Next is the diphthong oil, oil. For example, toy, foil. Next is ear, ear. The diphthong ear. For example, here, there, pure. Next we have and a. The diphthong and a. Air, air, air. For example, air and fair. The next diphthong is the diphthong ow, a and o. For example, how, cow, ew. Please mind the difference between a and o and a and o. Ew, for example, girl, no. These words make the sound ew. The o here makes the sound ew. Now, this is all about the vowel sound, the 24 vowel sound. Here we have 12 monotones, and here we have 8 diphthongs, which makes up the 20 vowel sounds we have in English. Next, we have the consonants. We have the consonant. I said we have 24 consonants sound in English language. And the first consonant on the board is the consonant sh, sh. For example, sheep. The next we have the consonant which gives you the word fish, tough. This GH here makes the sound, and also the PH here also makes the sound. Fish, tough, philosophy. The next one we have the consonant ch, ch. For example, matches and church, ch, ch, ch sound. The CH gives you what? Ch sound, ch, ch. The next is, for example, zinc. The next consonant is B. For example, book. The next is S. For example, song, Cynthia. CY here gives you the sound S, not Cynthia or whatever. It does not make the sound. The next is the sound which many of us confuse for. It's not thing. it is the sound what? And anywhere you see TH in a word, it makes the sound. For example, think, 3. The next we have 3. Next we have sound. For example, her, house. Next is the sound. G. For example, gong. And the next sound is yi sound. Yi sound, which, which happens to be letter Y, but it makes the sound yi. This yi is marked with letter J, but it's not the word does not come with J, rather it comes with the letter Y. For example, yam, yes, yesterday, they all make the sound yi. This is the symbol for it. The next one on the board we have the sound. For example, dog. Next we have k. For example, king. Next is Christmas. You can see that this CH here is making the sound k. That's why we say we don't speak with our letters, rather we speak with our sounds. For example, we would have said that this word is Christmas. If you had to pronounce it with your letter, it would have been Christmas. But because we pronounce with our sound, this word happens to give us the transcription Christmas, making the sound. The next one is lamb. The next is man. The next is as in net, and as in neat. The K here is silent, therefore it is not pronounced. Neat. So in a situation where you're giving words and you're asked to identify the one that has no, and you see this neat, do not say because it starts with the letter K. It's no longer no. No, the K here is silent. Therefore, you produce from where? N, neat, giving you the sound, no sound. The next, we have the sound r. For example, ram. For example, vehicle. The next is sound for walk. The next is for plumber. Okay, again for zinc. Then the next one is J. J. It's as if you're producing the sound and J together, giving you J, J, J. For example, George or John. So wherever you see a sound starting with the letter J, just know that it is giving you the sound J. Do you understand? Next, we have the sound J, 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 J on its own. It's different from this because here you have to include your sound J. Here it's just J. For example, measure, treasure, vision. You can see that this S here are giving you the sound J, not mercy. It's giving you the sound what? J sound. The last consonant sound we have is the sound mm. You mostly see most people confuse it for no sound. No. You mostly see it with word that ends with ing. Any word that has an ing bears this sound. It's as if you're drinking water. No sound. So these are the 24 consonant sounds we have in English. So you have to learn them and know when they appear in a sentence. For example, just like I said, this word that begins with J, any word that begins with J gives you J sound. And not when you see a transcription, you start expecting something like this. Jump. No. It begins with J. Now let's look at the examples from the past question to understand this more. Here it says, in each of question 1 to 6, choose the option that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letters on the line. And from our first word, which is bubble, bubble. This bubble here is giving you, this U here is giving you the sound, the bubble, blood, bubble. Now, from the options A to D, we are going to look for the one that also gets this back sound. A, we have guy, and guy is giving us g with the diphthong I, so it is not our answer. Boo is giving us boo with the vowel O, therefore it is not the answer. Now we have bam, bam, bam. Therefore, because this U here is also making the back R sound, just like the U on the line here, this happens to be our answer. And the underlined word here is A. A, we have the diphthong A. So option A says wave. Remember, we want to identify the one that sounds with A, wave, A sound. We have A, wave, B, Y, C, wheat, D, reed. Wave, Y, wheat, long E sound, and finally read. So you can see that this one is what? Wait. And from the sound of these words, the one that sounds close to it, the one that has the same vowel sound is what? Wave, which happens to be option A. Therefore, option A is our right answer. The next one we have leech, and Lee here is giving us the long E sound. Now let's look at the options to identify the one that has the same vowel sound with leech here. A, we have gear. B, we have cedar. C, we have cheer. Now, remember, we are looking for a long E sound. So, the word that bears the same vowel sound with the short E sound here, leech, is gear. Cedar, there's no E, rather we're having R sound. So A here is our answer, gear, leech. B, glazier, glazier. A, we have gleam, flat, fame, glass, glazier, glass. So glass is the right option. Number 5, we have loud, owl, owl. We're looking for owl sound. A, we have lavatory. B, loud. C, lake. D, call. You can see that B also sound with owl here. B, we have comma. A, we are looking for the vowel in these options that bears the same vowel with the underlined one here, comma. A, we have colonel. B, we have cogent. Cogent. C, we have calm. This O here is giving us the back R sound, calm. B, we have comma. The R sound, comma. So we can see that cogent here is giving us the same sound with the O in comma. Now the next instruction says, in each of questions 7 to 13, choose the option that has the same consonant sound as the one represented by the letters on the line. And the letter on the line here is is sh. Mention. Sh. This is giving us the sound sh. Now we have A, that. B, machine. C, church. D, test. The answer here is what? Church. Mention. Church. Machine here is giving us sh alone. Sh sound alone. Why that here is giving us this sound. Test here is giving us this sound. So the right answer is church. Number 8, we have the word prestige. And the underlined word here is prestige. Option A says bag, which is giving us the good sound, therefore it's not the answer. B, badge. C, reggae. D, leisure. Leisure. Here is this sound. Therefore, the right answer is badge, because badge here is giving us this sound. Likewise, the prestige here is giving us also the sound. Number 9, we have not. Options A, we have A, caught. B, keep. C, none. D, king. And remember I told you that this K here is what? Silent. It is not produced. Therefore, the underlined consonant there is not. And the word that has the same sound with the consonant here is what? No. This is giving a k sound, and k sound again. So do not confuse it with the beginning of k sound here. The underlying consonant is n, and no is giving you the same sound here. Number 10, we have lose. The letter S here is making the sound z, lose. Therefore, let's look for the word that has the same sound with it. A, we have mouse. B, nuts. C, noise. You can see that z is also heard here, and D, horse. Therefore, C is our right answer because it's making the same sound with the S here. The last one, we have guitar, and the underlined word is k. A, we have jam. B, we have strange. C, we have George. And D, we have rug. And we're looking for D, the sound with K, which happens to be rug. So, using your consonants, if you understand your consonant and your vowel sound, your sound system, you can be able to answer questions, any question that comes under your oral form. So, this is the end of the class, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.